Hello, my name is Edith Guedella. I'm the head of Roads and Environment Group within the Construction Technology Center of ACCIONA. And I would like to thank you, the NHEO Institute, for the invitation and for the organization of this conference. And I'm going to share a presentation with you about circular economy in construction. The content of my presentation will go through the definition of circular economy, regenerative systems, the relationship between circular economy and the SDGs, and circular economy and climate change, and examples of circular economy in action in the construction sector. I would like to start with the definition of circular economy. And why I prefer to start with this, because if we are in a room, I'm sure that each people of the room will have a different approach to the circular economy. So I would like to introduce the one that I use and the one that is followed in ACCIONA where we work. We consider the circular economy definition from the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, which is based in 3 principles that are eliminate waste and pollution, circular products and materials that they continue their use in the economy, and regenerate nature. And all these principles are clearly stated in the butterfly diagram from the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, where this diagram is a feedback system divided into 2 systems, the mechanical cycle and the biological cycle. Regarding the mechanical cycle, we start by the recycle of materials, which is the cycle where the products has the less value. Then we have the restore cycle of a product, the reuse of a product, and the maintenance of a product. And each of the cycles contributes to the system. And then we have the regeneration system associated to the biological cycle. The biological cycle is composed by biological materials that could return into the natural system, and that is why it's regenerative cycle. Valorizing and appreciating flows of energy, materials, and information is the meaning of the feedback system that represents this diagram. Instead of losing these resources, they return positively into the system and rebuild and restore natural capital. This graph tries to describe the creating natural capital in regenerative systems. The sustainable solutions are good, they are less bad, but we need to regenerate and regenerate the economy, and in order to create value. Once we have the vision of circular economy, we are going to relation the circular economy with the sustainability, with the SDGs contribution. The circular economy has direct impact on the 80% of the SDGs, with an extraordinary transformation capacity and work creation and economic development. But we should be aware that circular economy needs to address the social aspects of the SDGs. And this is the reason why we need to focus on the gaps where circular economy is not very known as addressing the current SDGs. For example, the ones of 1, 2, 5, or 10. And there is a requirement to enable circular economy transition, pushing the relationship with the SDGs 4, 16, and 17. And how about circular economy and climate change? It's important to see how circular economy addresses climate change and how it can help. 50% of the total current greenhouse gases emissions come from the energy generation and consumption, but there's still 45% that comes from the products, and with a potential reduction of 45% in greenhouse gases emissions, considering circular economy approaches. This is really important for construction sector as a major resource consumer and as a waste generator. And just to have an idea, a number in mind, construction and demolition waste are responsible of 200 million tons of CO2 per year. And this is a very huge number. So the products are still a focus to consider in circular economy and in climate change. Some numbers about the use of resources in construction sector. Our sector absorbs 30% of destructive resources and generates 25% of the solid resources globally. And if we focus on Europe, it absorbs 50% of destructive materials and generates 35% of the total generated waste. So these are really huge numbers and great opportunities for improvement of circular economy in construction sector. Let me introduce the current building development cycle and how we produce from the design phase to the manufacture, construction, use, demolition, and landfill. This is our current system. And what we would like to transform this is to transform this system. And how can we do that? We can apply different circular business models in the current value chain by approaches of circular design, circular use, or circular recovery in each of the stages of previously mentioned, in design, in manufacture, in construction, and in operation, and in the end of life. And we need to create added value on that. Now, I would like to give you some examples of circular economy applications in the different life stages of the construction and associated to this circular cycle or circular products or regenerative design. In this case, we start with an example in the design and manufacture, applying eco-design principles. And I would like to show you the example of the built by ACCIONA of the first lighthouse made all in composite materials in the world that is installed in the port of Valencia. This lighthouse was designed following LCA practices for the selection of the materials. It was designed taking into account durability and in order to support the environmental conditions, as is in the coast, and integrating renewable energy for the production of light. It was designed to increase durability and design for an easy maintenance and design for disassembly, which as you can see in the photograph, the different parts of the lighthouse. Regarding construction phase, and an example of circular economy application, circular economy models applied in the construction phase, I would like to give you an example of a project that we built in Spain, in the southeast of Spain. This is a highway where we substitute the cement used in the soil cement layer, which is in the basement of the pavement, by waste paper boiler ash. It was 100% substitution of cement with these materials. And these materials were derived from industrial symbiosis strategies between construction and industry and pulp between construction industry and pulp and paper industry. Regarding the in-use and refurbishment, I would like to show you this example of the application of self-healing materials in road pavements. In this case, these materials allows further durability of the projects and reduce the maintenance of the project. And this was an application that was made in a highway in the south of Spain. Regarding the end of life, we have to think about construction and demolition waste, which are our own waste, and their potential use in our own sites with higher percentage of substitution of the natural aggregates, or even in their use in the same projects where there is a demolition. You can use these aggregates directly in the site. These are some examples made in Spanish site with this material. So this is an example of the regenerative cycle of that was mentioned before with the different approaches of the business models. Just I would like to finish with a conclusion of the introduction of circular economy in construction to change the system and to create value by promoting a regenerative system which is within the construction sector. And we see that it's possible. We know that this can highly contribute both to climate change and to sustainability, and that could change the way we do things in construction. So thank you very much.